Best we can figure is he was grazing along the edge of the fence, walked forward, got zapped, and then ran through the zap and ended up outside the fence. Just move the hens over to the corner where the corral was previously. I sprinkled the meadow muffins, as you can see. And you can also see that very few of them actually care about their feed trays right now, because the other part of it, out there digging and scratching, is much more in line with their chicken nature. Well, you are not supposed to be out over there. You're eating the sorghum. Well, that's something. So how do I deal with this? Number one, I think calmly. Number two, I got some grain. I'm gonna put it in the bucket and bring the other three into the corral since they're still inside the pen. And then once I have them there, I'll turn off the fence, drop the fence, and then Deb will join me and we'll herd this guy back inside the perimeter. Well, he's back in, but man, what a poop show that was. Best we can figure is he was grazing along the edge of the fence, walked forward, got zapped, and then ran through the zap and ended up outside the fence. Not cool. So he's back in, but it may be that they're pressuring the fence line because they want more forage. So I'll have to move the fencing tonight and get them all into a new place. Sorry you didn't see him come in. What happened was we had him pretty close, but he was still looking at where the fence line is. And we had the fence just dropped on the ground and he was not going to cross it. He was very anxious about that. So he turned and he bolted. We ended up running because there was a gap where a gate is supposed to be back there. So that was unfortunate. Fortunately, Deb got over there and we just pushed him back this way. And then he ended up coming in here down at the corner, which wasn't on camera. I didn't want to take time to move the camera for this. So I'll bring him some hay, but I think I gotta move that fence tonight. All right, well, that's something. Keep him distracted for a little bit. I think I'll go pull that line up in the corner there so that I can give him a little bit more to roam. Okay, I just unhooked power, went up and disconnected that cross piece of fencing there, way up over there in the pasture. Unhooked that from the main fence, came back down. And I'm going to disconnect it now, but guess what I just discovered? When I moved the fence last time, that right there is what makes the fence hot. I didn't reconnect it. I suck. It's back. We're plugged in. Everything's hot again. So in essence, for the last 2 days, the only thing that has been keeping the steers inside the poly tape is the belief that the fence is hot, which explains how this guy was able to walk right on out without realizing. So he probably had his head down, came wandering through, didn't feel a zap, didn't feel anything, and just kept going because obviously life is good. You know, the truth is, every time I come out, I duck, I crawl underneath the fence, and I come up. The fence hasn't been on. So the only thing keeping me crawling underneath it was the belief that the fence was hot. All right, let's go back up and fix that other section. This area that I opened up for them, when I look at it now, I needed to be a little smarter because this is definitely not going to last them very long. Look how thin it is, as opposed to the lush stuff that they've got out there. They are coming over here to see what I'm doing. So I better get this opened up before they get here and get too crazy. My neighbor called and asked if I could go up to the road near where the old excavator is and cut all that back because it's really growing thick. I've been thinking about it, but I just get working on stuff here, and so he's just asked if I could go up and take a look at that and see if I can cut some of that back so it's a little less intrusive. Set a new paddock for the steers last night. So it didn't take them long to clean the stuff off on that southeast side because it's so thin. So I gave them all these woods and then all this nice grass down here. And they went straight across basically, and they're like in the woods. It's okay, that stuff needs to be eaten cleaned out too. I just didn't accept that one where I guess they were gonna go first. And now I'm just gonna move the hens a leapfrog forward so that they get a chance to clean up the manure, the meadow muffins that are out here in this grass. All right, was able to make the connection to a new roll there. Took it all the way down. So the stump is a bit of a pill. Be causing some issues. But I'm working on the stretch now to get it pulled taut. So that just means lots of walking back and forth down the line to make sure I'm not hung up on little stumps or tripping on stumps. That was awkward. Or T-posts or anything else that's going to stop it from pulling evenly all the way down the line. I was so excited thinking I was going to make it all the way here. Boom, I made it to right here. Came down and ran out. So I had to join fences together in order to go the last 10 feet. It was a bummer. All right, let's pull some more tension out of this. By the way, there's my neighbor working her bees. Yeah, if you see her on the street, stop and wave. Okay, gave that a pretty good pull from that end. A lot of this is straightened up now. And here's the cool thing. It hasn't hardly moved about a half an inch of just, what I would call a little tension. So this cross piece, I can't tell down there, but I'm going to call that good. I'd say from that T-post corner, that kit, overall it's expensive to have you know, 5 T-posts and a $26 kit. But if it's someplace you can't dig a post hole, like a wetland, and you want to just slam T-posts in the ground and reinforce with 2 T-posts as required, or whatever, you know, the instructions tell you to do, I'll tell you that right at this moment, I am very happy with that T-post corner kit. All right, let's get this thing tied off on the end, and then spend a while going down this line and putting all the clips on these T-posts. Gorgeous morning here today on the farm. It's pretty clear. Moon is still up. We've got temperatures at 70 degrees. That's nice. Still gonna get up to 90, but it's 70 right now. And all the animals are out, everybody's happy. And I'm just gonna get over and keep working on clipping that fence, putting the clips onto the T-post to get it to stand up. Ran out of time for that yesterday afternoon and evening. And I'm just gonna try and finish that up today. Fence is coming along nicely, probably about halfway. Get down over there. But this is the part that creates a certain challenge. Got a big rise there. So this is just where I kind of got to muscle this fence into place. I don't know what the final solution is going to look like. I'm afraid I'm going to have a gap underneath. So I'll have to figure out a solution to jerry rig that so that I don't have a gap. But let's see if I can't get this put into place. These are the clips that come, you know, if you buy T-posts at Tractor Supply, they give you bags of these things based on how many T-posts you buy. They figure, you know, 5 or 6 per T-post when you go to build, and so you just get a, you know, a bunch of them. They come in bags like this. And they're pretty easy. There's tools to do it. I find that just a Phillips head screwdriver makes life super easy. Small enough that I can fit it through here though, that's the key. And what I'm doing is, to make sure it gets as close to the ground as I can, I'm standing on this to pull it down to get the stretch to bring me all the way to the ground. And that's, it works, it's just, it makes for an awkward workspace. See, the whole fence is trying to pull up, all right? So that's its pressure because it's being influenced by this hill. All right, so it's come gentle grade down to this point, and then it wants to do this rise. And so it's fighting staying down. So I made sure that when I started setting the clips, I was trying to set them underneath. Some of them just end up in the middle. But down here at the bottom where it's really fighting, I stepped down hard on this and drove it underneath this, this nub on the T-post. All right, then I got the piece hooked and then wrapped around the other side. But I'm gonna work on this for a minute and see what happens. I think I'm gonna go down further, lift these up, install them, and that will take some of the downward pressure off the part that I'm working on. We'll see if that has something to do with it. All right, there's that one. And then it's holding pretty tight to the terrain. Tiny little gap down there. Then onto this, across it, and then back up onto that side. I feel like that'll work. I don't think I need to add any more T-posts in there. But keep an eye on it, and if it looks like it's starting to struggle or the fence is starting to overstrain and bend out of position and everything, I'll slap some more in there just to reinforce. And all right, we're set all the way down. Here, making the turn across the gulch. And then dialing out. Who is locked in with whom? Turkeys and steers all hanging out together. Beautiful evening, man, I'll tell you what. 70 degrees this morning. Gorgeous, gorgeous temperatures here this evening. The hens are all about it. I'm gonna give them treats, close the nest boxes. Call it a night in a little bit, I think. Pretty good haul. Yeah, it's beautiful out tonight. I think I'm just gonna sit out and enjoy it until the mosquitoes start to take me apart. That's it from here. Talk to you guys later.